all right, all we gotta do is make it home. That's the only mission. All we gotta do is make it home, and we're
nature by science.
Hi guys, I know this is a crazy intro right here. I'm in the bathroom right now. I'm currently in class. We're watching a movie right now, so a lot of people just left the class because we were watching a movie, which is crazy. But all right, someone came into the bathroom, so I cut the clip. So yeah, right now I'm just getting back to class. There's not a lot of people in the hall right now. That's how you can tell a lot of people have class or they're about to leave class. So let's go back to class. Okay, so we're currently leaving class right now. Excuse the angles on my camera. Looking crazy as hell. Okay, bye. That's the first time I came out of class and there was mad people waiting outside to go in there. Like, they wasn't even letting us out the door. Like, y'all mad geek to go to class. Like, what the hell? I ain't gonna lie. First when I thought about like vlogging when I'm on campus and stuff, I was like, oh, people are gonna think I'm weird, da-da-da. But I'm like, nobody's worried about what the fuck I'm doing right now. Nobody's paying attention to me. I'm just vibing, you know. So currently, I'm walking home. Y'all are gonna notice from these videos I be on my dolo, but it's okay. We're getting stuff done. But my friend that used to go to Temple, she's coming to visit next week. I'm super excited. So I'm gonna do a video with her. So we're gonna have a little guest appearance already. All right, I think we're about to cut to him because it's mad cold out here and I'm tired of holding this camera. And homie all in the background. Hope he doesn't see this. I ain't the feds, I swear. All right, so I just came back from class. I don't know, like, if y'all want a room tour or not, and to keep it a bean, I don't really know if I want to give y'all a room tour, but definitely whenever I move into my next apartment, I'm gonna definitely give y'all a room tour. It's just like, it doesn't look the way I want it to. Like, I don't have none of my stuff on the walls or anything. Like, as you can just see from this angle right here, like, there is shit on my walls. I'm thinking about doing a Q&A, but I don't want to just like ask my friends to send me questions. Like, I want to at least get some questions from outside sources. So definitely comment down below if you're watching this, comment some questions, or go ahead to my social media. You guys can tweet me, or you guys can Instagram DM me any questions that you have, so then I can set up a Q&A. I swear I be talking too fast and then my words just kind of jumble together. So as I'm progressing and doing these videos, I'm gonna try to work on that because I do talk really fast and some of my words kind of jumble together. So I try not to talk as fast so you guys can understand what I'm saying. But furthermore, you know, I'm just gonna kind of tell you guys a little bit more about myself, kind of give you some life updates of what I have going on with myself right now. I'm currently just trying to find a job. I'll apply for these places, call them, and then they'll be like, we're not hiring right now. And I'm just like, okay, well, why on your door does it say now hiring? The second thing I have going on is I did apply to become an RA. They did tell me that I was chosen to be a RA alternate. So basically saying if somebody decides that they don't want to take their position, they'll give it to me. It is somewhat good news, but also it's not guaranteed. So I have to look for another housing situation for next year because I do want my own space. Like, I'm kind of that person. I like having stuff organized a certain way. I like having my own space. So I'm trying to find my own place, but you know, it's 1,000 and up. And not just like 1,000, like we're talking about like 2,000 or something. So we're currently working on a housing situation. Next week is spring break. I don't really have any plans. Last year I did go to Miami with a couple friends, but this year I'm kind of chilling, you know. That's what's going on with me. You know, I told you before on this channel, you guys are actually going to watch my journey through life as well. So sometimes here and there I'll give you guys little updates about what I have going on. You know, nothing crazy. So now, let's get into why you really clicked on this video in the first place. I contemplated and contemplated. I was like, I want to do story time. And I was trying to think, because there was this one story I had in my head. And I was like, my parents be tuning in, and I told you I'm 21 and I'm grown, but at the same time, like, I've never actually told my parents this story, and I know they're gonna end up seeing this video. You know, we're just gonna lay it out on the table. You know, whenever they watch this video, you know, we can have the conversation. But right now, let's just get into it. Let's get into it. Where do I even begin? So for this video, for privacy reasons, I'm gonna keep people's names out of the story. So we're gonna start out, we're gonna name this person Andrea. One night, I decided to go over to Andrea's house. Now, me and Andrea, we live like literally like a 2-minute walk from each other. She literally lived like down the street. Like, I was up on the hill and she literally lived, like, you walk down like this big ass road and then her house is like right on this little main street. So at the time, hold on, we're gonna give the other girl a name. We're gonna give her the name, we're gonna say Clara. All right, because I'm really like picking out names of people that I don't even know at all. Me and Clara were real good friends at one point. And then we kind of had like a little falling out. And then, you know, throughout the years going through high school, we became cordial. And now it's like, if I see her, like, we could hang out with each other and be cool. Like, we got older, we kind of got past everything. So I used to always go over there to hang out with Clara. Now, I had more classes with Andrea, and me and her kind of built a friendship. So then after like me and Clara fell off, me and Andrea started hanging out more, and Andrea invited me to the house. Andrea was kind of like that, kind of to herself. She wasn't really shy, like, she grew up with everybody, she knew people in school, but she was just kind of like that to herself type person. And I kind of like that vibe, you know. I'm more of an extrovert. I'm like outspoken when I feel like I need to be. I kind of like being around a lot of people, hanging out. And Andrea's kind of the opposite, you know. She's more of an introvert. She likes being more by herself. But, you know, like, we kind of connected on certain levels and we just vibed. Like, I did really like Andrea's personality, and I feel like she's a good friend to have around. So me and Andrea are chilling at the house, and now we're gonna introduce somebody else. All right, so for this person, we're gonna name her Evie. So me and Andrea were waiting for Evie to get off of work so she could come to the house and we could all chill. Now, this is important to know. Evie had a big old, she had like a big old bottle of E&J, and she had some edible treats. So we're geeked, we're at the house kind of chilling, waiting for Evie to go off work, because we're like, all right, once we go get her and come to the crib, we about to be lit. Now, before I get into this further, if you are not 21, do not drink. All right, it is bad. If you are not 21, do not drink. I do not condone underage drinking. Do not do it. Unless in your country where you live, it's 18 and up or whatever to drink, do your thing. But here in the US, it's 21, baby. So we do not condone underage drinking over here. All right, back to the story. So we're in the house, and we know that Evie's about to get off work pretty soon. Andrea's texting her on the phone and everything, like, oh, when are you about to get off work, blah, blah, blah. In the midst of all that, I'm downstairs with their older sister, and she got a couple bottles. So she's like, Adia, do you want a shot? So I'm like, yeah. So we're downstairs, we take a couple shots. Now, I'm not drunk. I'm just like a little wavy, you know what I'm saying? So now Evie tells Andrea that she's off work. Clara says, she says she's going to do something. So she's like, I will take you guys to go pick up Evie and bring you guys back to the house. And we're like, all right, bet, say no more. Now we got Clara driving, I'm in the front seat, and Andrea's in the back seat. Now, where we live, it's like another small town over. And it's not that far of a drive. Like, for us to go get Evie would be like a 10-15 minute ride. Oh wait, I'm lying. We went to go get Evie from her house. At this point, Evie already left work and she's at her house, which is actually closer than where she worked. Basically, her house is like a 5-7 minute drive, depending on if you're hitting any traffic lights. So boom. We're going to get Evie. We pull up to the house. She gets in the car. Now, we thought we was smart when we was younger. We really did. We thought we was mad smart. So Evie, she got this big ass bag, big ass bottle of E&J. And she got her edible treats, and she puts them in the trunk. Boom, bow. So at this time, okay, now everything's coming back to me. This is why I talked about the small town that was like right across, like the bridge, basically, right across the bridge. After we get Evie, Clara was saying that she was going to go to the other town over. I don't really want to say it. So the other town over across the bridge to go do something. And she was like, you guys can ride with me, chill, vibe for a minute, and then we'll get back to the crib. So now we're on our way over to the next town over. And we notice that there's a cop following us. Now, where I live, it's a really, really small town. So there's not really a lot of cops out. So when you see a cop and he's following you, it's a problem. We notice that the cop's following us. We pull into Walmart and we act like we bought something. We stay in there for a little bit. We grabbed a plastic bag. We threw like somebody's phone in there, act like there's shit in the bag, and then went to the car. Now this is where the story takes a dramatic turn. We all hop back in the car. We think everything's straight, you know. At this point, we're like, all right, all we gotta do is make it home. That's the only mission. All we gotta do is make it home, and we're straight. We pull out of Walmart, and as we're riding, we see that the state trooper pulled out and was following us again. All right, so now this is the part of the story where shit gets real. We got my girl Clara driving. Clara's driving, and as she's driving now, the light is about to turn yellow. Now it's at that point where like, if a cop's behind you, you're gonna slow down. But you know, like a lot of people that drive, a lot of people know yellow means speed up before that bitch turn red. But when there's cops around, yellow means slow down. So we're driving, and the light turns yellow. Andrea's in the back like, Clara, don't do it, Clara, don't do it. There's a cop behind us, don't do it. Clara's like, it's fine, I'm gonna make it. The minute that Clara goes under the light, it literally hit, like literally, bro, this is the light. The car hits like this, so the car hits like this and the light turns red, and we go. And this nigga turned his lights on. Once he turns his lights on, we know it's GG's. We got Andrea and Evie in the back seat tripping. They're like, yo, like, it's GG's, bro. Like, we're all talking to the car, like, so Andrea pulls over. And we're just sitting there contemplating because he don't get out the car yet. So we're all just figuring stuff out. My girl, Andrea's in the back recording. You know, we don't play that around here. So she's in the back recording everything. So he comes up to the window and Andrea puts the window down. Now remember, I'm in the front seat. This is important for the story. So as the cop's talking to Andrea, this is when we realized that like shit's deeper than we thought it was. At the time, Andrea and Clara's mom had a rental car, and because I think something happened to her car or something, so she had a rental at the moment. And Andrea wasn't listed as one of the drivers for the rental. Like, she wasn't allowed to be driving it. And then on top of that, we were all under 18. And I don't know in some states if it's different, but, you know, in PA, 16 to 17, you cannot drive past 11 o'clock. Once you hit 18, then you can drive freely. That's another red flag. And Andrea didn't even have her license on her because the story was we went to Walmart to go pick up some medicine for her mom and then go back to the crib. On my side, while all this is going on, a cop comes, boop, boop, you know, taps on my window. I put the window down and I'm like, hello, officer. And, you know, he got the bright-ass flashlight in my face. So I didn't want to say nothing smart, but in my head, I'm like, nigga, get this flashlight in my face, bro. Like, you want me to chat to you and I can't even see shit. You got this flashlight in my eye blinding me. Like, what is you doing? So off rip, the first thing comes out his mouth is, have you been drinking? And I was like, no. And he was like, okay, well, he's like, how old are you? And I was like, I'm 17. And he was like, okay. And he was like, I'm going to ask you again, like, have you been drinking? And I was like, no, I haven't. And I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, I don't know what the outcome would have been if I would have just said yeah. But I was lying like a mug. I ain't gonna lie. So he was like, all right, well, he's like, why are your eyes red? And in both of these videos, you see I have glasses on, but I usually wear my contacts. I told him, I was like, yeah, my eyes are red and irritated from my contacts. They're really dry right now. And he was like, okay. He's like, well, I feel like I could smell liquor on your breath. And I was like, officer, I wasn't drinking. He was like, all right, well, I'm gonna come out and breathalyze you. Off rip, once he says that, I got out the car. I can hear Evie and Andrea in the back seat. They're like, oh my God, like really? Cause now we're at a point where we're like, bro. And on top of that, where we pulled the car over, so where I lived, it was like, it was called High Street. And there's like this real big road. You know, like anybody who lived in our little neighborhood had to come up High Street to go back home. And even though like it's late at night, some people are still coming up and down the streets. Because where I live, like at certain times of night, you don't see any cars. In the city, I know it's different, but where I live at a certain time of night, you barely see cars on the road. I'm just thinking to myself as well, I'm like, yo, if anybody's parents that I know or anything drives past, it's GG's for me. He goes to breathalyze me, and for some reason, I thought I was slit, because I've never been breathalyzed before, so I thought I was slit. I'm sitting there, like, he's holding the thing, and I'm like, and he was like, blow, blow, like he's yelling at me like, blow harder, because I'm acting like I could finesse the system. Start blowing into the thing, and I don't even remember what he said, but he was like, you're way over the alcohol limit, Honestly, personally, I really didn't think I drank that much, because I wasn't even drunk, I was just kind of wavy. But you know, we're just going off of, you know, the breathalyzer. No matter how much I felt like I drank, like, it's just the numbers are the numbers, you know. The math was math in this night. Now at this point, he's like, all right, you lied to an officer, you got this liquor on your breath, Honestly, probably the saving grace was I wasn't driving. So he was like, since you lied to an officer, we're about to detain you. My heart sunk to my feet. I was like, bro, this can't be real. He puts me in the handcuffs and I sit on the cop's bumper. The scary thing about this all is that literally the same night, I found out that I became the cheer captain, because this was like the end of my junior year getting to senior year. So I just found out I became the cheer captain. I'm that excited. I started praying. The whole time I was sitting there, I didn't even know what was going on. Like, all I remember was he started breathalyzing my other friends. He had them all come out the car. So I kind of see them all getting out the car, getting breathalyzed. But the whole time, girl, I'm just praying. I'm praying to God my parents don't find out. I'm praying to God I don't go to jail. Like, prayer definitely got me through this, and I'll tell you why. After everything goes down, everybody was clean. Even Clara, like, she didn't take as many shots as me, but she took like 1 or 2. But whenever they breathalyzed her, they didn't detect any of that. Thank God, because she was the driver. At this point, you know, now we're right down the street from her house at this point. So her mom comes down and her older sister. So they come, basically the cop comes up to me. He's chatting a lot. He's taking me out of the handcuffs. That's all I know. I know I'm not going downtown, so I don't really care about what he's saying. He's basically saying like, don't ever lie to an officer again. If it wasn't for your friend's mom, we would have took you downtown, yada, yada, yada. Basically trying to scare me. Yeah, long story short, oh my gosh, I miss her name. Clara and Andrea's mom, she drives this car, and then their older sister drives the other car. They stop at the gas station up the street to put gas in the cars. So we're all just kind of sitting in the car. You got Clara and Andrea's mom in the front seat. I'm sitting next to her, and then you got Andrea and Evie in the back seat. Clara's in the other car with her older sister. We're all just kind of sitting in the car for a second. And it was mad quiet, I ain't gonna lie. Like, you could just feel the tension. Like, everybody's kind of relieved, but everybody's just kind of shook up at the same time. And it's just real quiet, and all of a sudden, I was just like, fuck! Did I scare you? Yeah, I remember just screaming that. And I remember off rip, Andrew, because I'm not that kid. Like, I've always been the real respectful kid. Like, I always call your parents Mr., Mrs. I always say hi to them whenever I walk into the house. My parents always taught me to be real respectful like that. Andrea's like, Adia, like, because I usually don't be doing that. And I was like, I know, I'm sorry, miss. We're not gonna say her name, but I was like, I'm sorry, miss. I was like, I didn't mean to curse. And she's like, no, it's okay. She's like, you've been through a lot tonight. She's like, it's okay, I'll excuse you. You've been through a lot tonight. We get back to the crib, and, you know, remember at the beginning of the story when I said Evie had that big ass bag with a lot of goods? Yeah, so honestly, at that point, we were just celebrating that I didn't actually go downtown and go to jail. That is the time I almost got arrested. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all the love. We're just gonna keep progressing, and I'm very excited. Also, make sure you hit that little bell to be notified whenever I post a new video, and I will see you guys in another week or maybe sooner. Peace.